Tom,
Yes.
a whole life studying animals.
Uh-huh.
Do you think studying animals, it can be reasonable to compare them with humans?
Well, humans are animals, of course. We are a kind of ape. So yes, I think it's reasonable to see similarities between ourselves and all sorts of animals. We share the same challenges in life. It's just different animals have different approaches. I think there's only so far you should take the similarities, but I think having compassion for animals and seeing how we share the same problems is a good way to view nature.
Would animals try to change the world?
No, I don't think animals change the world. That's probably one thing that makes us different, is that we are able to reflect on our actions, and that's one of the reasons why I find it surprising, even though we can reflect on our actions, we still don't seem to want to change the world. But hopefully things are going to change, and hopefully we'll realize the only future for us as humans is to change the way we behave.
You have transformed the story of the animals, or to see the animals in TV and movies, instead of just watching documentals. That's what we all were used to it, to see a documental how this animal lives, how this can fly or start his life. You change it like stories about animals, like a program, like a movie, like you change this way to see animals.
Yeah, we're always looking for new ways to inspire new generations with the natural world, and I think it's important to make wildlife films entertaining, because a lot of people think animals are boring. So in order to make them understand more about nature, first you have to touch them through emotions and through storytelling, and it's my hope that once they learn to love nature, they will then want to find out more about how they can protect it.
If we learn to love animals, we'll learn to love each other also, like humans, because one of the most problems is we discriminate. There are problems with religion, with politics, with, many problems, whatever, that you don't see so much in animals.
You mean we don't see so much problems of conservation? Or
no, problems like discrimination, like problems of not having love each other. You have problems like, I have to eat you, or to live with you, or I don't want to be in my territory. In you, many problems. If we learn of animals, can we learn to solve our problems like humans?
I don't think that animals are good or bad. I think all animals are struggling to survive, and the challenges they have to face are far greater than most of us humans, who are lucky to be able to live fairly comfortable lives. What I think we can learn from animals is that probably all of us are born with a connection to nature, and unless we respect that connection, the world is probably doomed.
What was the most inspiring moment you saw in this whole story of animals, this taking photos of animals, taking films of animals in a different way? What was the most inspiring moment you have learned from this?
I think probably throughout my career the most inspiring thing I saw was filming for Human Planet. I went to film with a tribesman called Tete, who has to climb 40-meter high trees just to get honey for his family, and what was so amazing was he would risk his life just to get something that you or I would go and buy in a supermarket, but his knowledge and ability to survive in nature was just astounding. And more than that, also, I think what I realized with these tribes, although they have nothing and they have many struggles against disease and dangers, because they live with nature, they actually have a happiness in their hearts, because their lives are simple and they're living a life that we were evolved to do.
Thinking about inspiration and what these apes do to get food for his family. When you started studying for these animals and was thinking about doing a career, studying animals, filming animals, did anybody tell you are crazy? What are you doing? Why you're not a doctor or something normal? Did anybody tell you? Why did you pursue this dream?
No, nobody told me I was crazy to pursue a career in wildlife filmmaking. In fact, I think most people were very happy, because when I was a student I was quite naughty, and I think my parents were worried that I wasn't going to do anything. So when they found out I was working for the BBC, I think they were very happy. And in England, wildlife filmmaking has a big legacy thanks to the BBC and thanks to David Attenborough, so it's actually quite a prestigious job. So I think everyone's quite proud of me.
What would you say is the best way to change the world in your perspective, and studying and learning from the animals and from your experience in the wildlife?
I think the best way to change the world is first to be honest with yourself and look at the impact that you have on the world. It's very easy to say I want to change the world, but people like me and most of the people at the conference, we are the privileged people who live in the top 1% of the living standards around the world. And it's only when we lead by example, when we give to the rest of humanity, that I think we can change the world, because it's no good expecting people who have nothing to behave well when we don't behave ourselves, when we have all the money and the comfort we need.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure to speak with you.
Thank you very much.
To hear you and see all your videos.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, take care.